Millions of Americans have missed their second vaccine shot. Both Pfizer and Moderna require 2 doses in order to be fully vaccinated. But really alarming, 8% of Americans, we understand, have skipped the second dose. Our chief health editor, Dr. Partha Nandi, joining us now. And Dr. Nandi, it's incredibly concerning. I mean, do we think these folks have some hesitancy and will eventually do it, or are intentionally skipping the second shot altogether?
First of all, Mary, a lot of people say 8% doesn't sound like a lot, but that's over 5 million Americans. Now, as to why folks are not getting Pfizer or Moderna's second shot, well, there's a bunch of reasons. First of all, as you mentioned before, some people are hesitant, right? Because they're worried about side effects. Others have limited access to transportation. And some vaccine locations, at the beginning, you may remember, ran out of supply, and well, others had to cancel because of winter weather. And of course, we know when demand was high, what happened was people waited in very long lines to get the first shot. And for some folks who encounter difficulties or hassles, well, they're not going to, try to get the hassle again for the second time. There are also some folks out there that are really confident, right, that a single dose provides enough protection, and that's worrisome. They don't need, they don't feel like they need to get the second shot. And I've heard a lot of reasons and sometimes excuses for even my patients. And here's what I tell them: if you've missed your second shot, it is not too late. It's a perfect time to schedule it, especially demand now is not as high as it was a couple of months ago.
Well, here's what people will say. They say, okay, the studies point to 80% immunity once you've taken the first dose of either Moderna or Pfizer, and that's pretty high, right? 80%. So what is the concern for delaying or skipping that second dose altogether?
That's a great point, Amira, but it's a tenuous 80%. So what does that mean? There's just not enough research to show that how long that protection will actually last from the first shot. And the concern is that one shot won't trigger a long-lasting or robust immune response, and people might end up being more susceptible to the variants we talked about before. And now we know that Canada and Britain, Amira, are waiting 3 to 4 months between shots, but the CDC, they're still sticking to 3 weeks for Pfizer and 4 weeks for Moderna. And the longest they want you to wait is 6 weeks between shots. And that timeline is based on data, clinical trials and research. Data shows an efficacy rate of 94% and 95% for these 2 vaccines 2 weeks after the second dose. Now, for anyone who has not received your second dose and it's been over 6 weeks since the last shot, I can assure you that it's never too late to get the second shot. If you haven't received it, you want to get it and give your body the best chance of getting immunity to be able to fight this COVID. And again, as Alan said before, that's the way we get back to normalcy.
Yeah, it's good to know that a delay won't completely set you off, that you can still go get that second dose if you'd like to. All right. Thank you so much, as always, Dr. Nandi. And if you have a coronavirus question for the doctor, you can email him, Dr. Nandi, at askdrnandi.com, or send it to us on Facebook or Twitter.